Hey, hopefully this is finding everyone safe and at home, I guess, and social distancing. I know the quarantine's affecting everybody one way or another. I've still been able to work full time, but going all stir crazy at home on the days that I have off, in between grocery runs and all that other stuff. So I figured I would put together the video that I was planning to do last year. It's from our 2019 Firefall trip. It ended up getting cut a little bit short due to a family emergency with one of our friends. So the footage I was planning on getting, I didn't get all of it, so I ended up not really doing a whole lot with it. But I feel like there's enough there that I can kind of put together an okay video and maybe do some voiceover stuff for the footage that I didn't really get. But so that's kind of the plan. I'm just trying to keep myself busy, so I figured I'd kind of put that together for you guys. If you have any questions or comments, leave them in the comment thread. And if you feel like the information is good and you like the content, go ahead and hit the like button and subscribe. That'd be cool. But yeah, I hope everyone's staying safe and healthy during this time, and the more we can adhere to the guidelines of social distancing and trying to ride this thing out. Hopefully the sooner we can get back outdoors and back to doing photos and hiking and camping and all that stuff, because it's definitely taking a toll on everybody, So hope everyone stays safe out there. Thanks. So we drove a few miles from Sacramento to Yosemite Valley. It was pretty well covered in snow. Kind of a long drive, but ended up being fine. We got to our accommodations. They were a little rustic, but a lot nicer than what I normally stay in. So we kind of settled in. Our friends Jared and James came along with us from San Diego. Kind of hung out in the room for a little bit for the first night. Got settled in, checked out the accommodations. We just kind of got all of our stuff together that first night and got ready to head on out to the valley and shoot the next day. First day in the valley. Got some good looking boys back there. Here's one. Whew, just froze our faces off shooting tunnel view this morning, and we're gonna go check out Three Brothers.
My face is the only thing that isn't cold. That is cold. That isn't cold, yeah.
Alright. One thing I didn't really mention in that previous clip there is we were shooting at tunnel view since pretty early in the morning, kind of forging our own path in the snow because there's a pretty heavy layer of snow on the ground, and we were there in the morning, but we just didn't really get the light that we were hoping for. I got a few photos out of that whole thing, but it didn't really end up working out for me. Sometimes you don't really get what you're going for. Shooting Three Brothers this morning. Looking pretty nice out here. Check it out. So we shot Three Brothers here this morning. I was shooting at about 24 millimeters at ISO 100, and I was shooting about anywhere from like 1.5 to 1.3 seconds or whatever. It was I like to underexpose a little bit, trying to keep in a lot of the shadows. That way I don't have to bracket as much. It's kind of how I do things a lot, and try and preserve the highlights as much as I can. Being here in winter is an incredible time. There's like next to no one here right now. There were a bunch of photographers here this morning because this is a really awesome place to get in. So we drove around the Yosemite Valley for a while, trying to figure out the best angle to kind of get the shots we're looking for Firefall. There was a lot of scouting involved and a lot of going to one place and finding out it was the wrong place and driving the loop again. We did end up finding an area that we had to hike to for quite a while, but it ended up being a pretty sweet spot by the time we got there. Alright. Try and shoot Firefall today. See if we can find a good spot for it. We found a spot earlier. Might need to come back just a little bit because I want a lateral view of it, but still, I think we got a little too lateral, so I don't know if we'll see it on that side. So we're gonna, hello. So we're gonna try and move back a little bit and see if we can get it there. A little back from where we were initially planning to shoot. Gorgeous day out here today, though. Incredible. Definitely just post hold up to about my upper thigh. Some nice fresh snow here. Following this kind of already flattened out path, but here and there there's a surprise little patch of fresh snow and you just go right through. Good times. Huh? No, I wish I was though. I know. Woo! Made out here, gonna shoot Firefall, found our location. We're out here with a few other people so far. Probably get a little busier later. Right now I kind of dialed in at 100 millimeters, and my settings aren't set for when we actually shoot the waterfall, but I'll probably stop down to about f16 to try and get a little waterfall. I don't have an ND with me on this trip, which is unfortunate, but we'll work around it and see what we can do. Maybe do an exposure blend or something, I don't know. But right now we're just waiting for Alex to get here, get to our spot, and we'll be sitting here for the next like 4 or 5 hours. It's like 1, I think, maybe 2 now, so another 3.5, 4 hours. Yeah, so we'll kind of see how this goes. Hopefully we get something nice.
Yeah.
Yep, a little busy here. Meow. Ugh, bright.
Lift it up.
Oh yeah, you can see everybody out there. Ooh. Alright, so we're all set up for Firefall. I'm at about 200 millimeters. Probably going to shoot it at f16. I'm going to kind of decide on my shutter speed as it gets closer. It's going to get a little bit darker, but we're out here right on the south side of the Merced River, and it is incredible. It's gorgeous out here. We're going to try and kind of see what we can get. Quite a few photographers are set up, but usually a long lens is pretty much kind of what you want to do, I think. I'm using a 100 to 400, but typically that's 70 to 200 pretty much do it for you. But we're gonna kind of set up and get everything dialed in here, and we'll see what we can get. Pretty exciting. It only happens, maybe a few times a year, if that. It depends on snow flow, snowfall, and all that other stuff. So we'll see what we can get here. Yeah, take a look at all the photographers set up out here. Like that. All the people down there set up with their tripods. It's like a firing squad. Just finished the Firefall, got some incredible photos. I can't wait to share them. I'll post them at the end of this video.
Hype!
Hype is real. It is incredible. The whole thing just lit up, orange, a little bit of pink at the end. It's gonna be good. So I didn't get any good video footage of Firefall since we were just playing off the light and just shooting like crazy, but we ended up shooting for probably about 25 minutes or so, maybe a little bit more, and the light was just incredible. We had just pinks and oranges, and then the light died off and it came back again, and it was just like this incredible like light show that not everyone gets to see. This year, 2020, they had just terrible snowfall and precipitation and everything, so the people that showed up didn't really get anything at all. So we were incredibly lucky to have the conditions that we got. Pink all towards the end. Came back about 3 different times. There's probably, I don't know, maybe like 50 or 60 photographers there. It was absolutely insane. I did a few compositions. I shot vertically for part of it, then I flipped to horizontal. Kind of framed it a little bit with some of the trees around it and kind of zoomed in for a tighter crop on some of the shots. I was mostly shooting at the f/16 to kind of slow down my shutter speed and get the water a little more misty. And the incredible thing about it was it had this, the snow was coming off the side of the mountain and it was turning into this mist in front of the waterfall. So it really looked like fire, and it was absolutely insane. It looked like a lava flow off the mountain. I can't wait to post the pictures for you guys. Thanks for following along. Really appreciate it. So this is the first image from that trip that I edited. It's from Three Brothers there in the valley. We spent the second part of our morning there. What I did here was I did shoot it at ISO 100, about 28 millimeters, and at f/11. And the exposure was about 1.3 seconds or so. I did underexpose it a little bit, trying to retain the highlights, so I pushed those back a little bit to try and recover some of that shadow detail. That's a nice thing about shooting at a low ISO is there's no noise at that point, especially if you have a good tripod. There's no camera shake. You're in pretty good shape there. What I also did in post here was I did some dodging and some burning, trying to accentuate that morning light that hit the peaks, and then also trying to bring out more of that mist and that steam that was coming off the snow as the light hit it, to try to give it like kind of a sense of atmosphere. So I was able to get the reflection in the water there, and then the texture in the snow in the front really kind of draws you in, and then you get drawn all the way through the image, kind of starting at the front. So this is the first photo, one of the first photos I got of Firefall. Now I framed it horizontally because I did kind of like the framing of that pine tree on the left-hand side there. As you can see, like what I mentioned in the video, is just the snow was just blowing off the side of the mountain there and getting caught by the light. So it just looked like this like fire explosion, which was really incredible to see, especially with everyone there. Everyone was just going nuts for it. So I shot this at ISO 100 millimeters, f/16, about 1/25 of a second. Initially I was kind of nervous that I didn't have a neutral density filter, but given the low light situation and kind of the conditions we were given, like it really wasn't an issue. So yeah, I did definitely underexpose this one quite a bit. But I pushed that back so we could retain, like I said in the last one, some shadow detail, and then just, dodged and burned the areas that were, being exposed to the light. So you're going to really accentuate the light that was coming in, and just accentuating the snow that was getting caught up in the light there. All in all, it was really incredible to see this up close. So this I'd say is probably my favorite photo that I took that day. It's, the more traditional framing of Firefall, so, you're not, doing anything brand new compositionally or anything like that, but, it was super fun to shoot, so in the end, that's really all that counts, right? So with this one, what I did was similar to my other one. It was ISO 100, about 185 millimeters and an f/16, but the length of exposure, shutter speed or whatever, it was about 1/6 of a second. So this was kind of towards the end of the light show. This is after the light kind of died off and came back for a little bit of an encore, so to speak. So, the snow kind of settled down, the winds weren't as crazy, so it was more of a subtle light off the waterfall, which I really liked. So it really just gave it just like this really nice glow rather than just lighting up everything around it, which was also cool, but I just personally like this one a little bit better. So yeah, there's just a lot of really good contrast between the shadows still having the detail in there, the snow, and then obviously the bright color that was kind of reflecting off that water from the light. So yeah, this is kind of my last one and my favorite photo from the trip. So yeah, thanks so much. And of course, if you like the content and kind of like where the channel's going right now, please like and subscribe, and let me know in the comments if there's anything else you'd like to see, things you'd like to see in the future. I'm more than happy to kind of give that a go and really kind of try to grow the channel. So thanks a lot, and we'll see you on the next one.